Hi, I'm Leanne Martinez. I'm your current Miss Florida United States 2022. I started pageants back when I was about 15 years old. I entered my first pageant. I entered NAM. I didn't know what I was doing. I got my dress for like $15 in Macy's and I made top 15 and it was an amazing experience. Back then, before pageantry, I didn't really know what pageants was. I had to really convince my mom. We thought it was about like fake teeth and makeup and a whole bunch of crazy things. And then when I did my first pageant, I realized it was more about community service and not so much about looks, and I fell in love with it. I continued on until I was about 17, 18. I entered my last pageant then when I was 18, and I was currently Miss Florida teen at the time when I found out I was pregnant. I thought my life was completely over. I thought my pageant career was over. I had to give up my title, and ever since I was pregnant, I found out that Miss United States accepted moms. So I've been applying since. I finally got a call a couple months ago that I made it to be Miss Florida United States. And this is the start to my hashtag Your Life Is Not Over interview campaign.
So we're here with Leanne Martinez, and she's been doing pageants since she was a young teenager. When you found out you got pregnant at 18, what's the biggest thing you had to overcome?
Well, ultimately, when I found out, obviously I was a mess. I remember looking at the pregnancy test and dropping to my knees and crying out. Okay, baby, give me 1 second, okay? This is reality. When I looked at that pregnancy test, I remember dropping to my knees and crying and screaming out like, why? And it was just a very emotional time for me. Also, I knew that her father, he was in the military at the time, he was in the Air Force, and he was stationed in London. So ultimately, I knew that I was going to be alone majority of it. We didn't break up till about the end of my pregnancy, but I already knew that I was going to be alone for majority of her growing up. He then moved to South Korea after London, so for her first year and a half, roughly, I was completely alone. I had the help of his mom. Every other weekend she would go over there, but majority I was alone with the help of my family. So I feel like having to overcome just really raising my daughter by myself was really challenging to me. You know, I saw everyone else my age going out and coming and going as they please and living their life, and you know, I wasn't able to do that as much when she was younger just because I was alone. I never thought that I would be able to have a place of my own with her just because of how expensive everything was, and now being able to have our own apartment that I pay the bills for solely. All the bills are under my name for my daughter and I. I'm just glad that I finally have overcame that, and that I feel like was the biggest thing that I had to overcome.
So why are you doing this interview campaign?
I thought my pageant career was over back then, and even now there's a lot of pageant systems that don't allow moms to do pageantry. And I think that was the hardest thing for me when I looked at that pregnancy test, just realizing that my pageant career was over and I wouldn't be able to one day have fulfill the dreams that I had on pageants. So ultimately, when I got back into pageants, I was going to do the same platform that I had before, which was called Crowned by Confidence. I would go to schools and talk to young girls about building self-confidence. However, I was in a meeting one day with people from Miss United States, and they were talking about platforms and something that you've had to overcome, something that's been challenging for you. And I was like, me being a mom, so I took my platform from before and what I've been through and put it together, and that's where I came up with Hope for Young Moms. I want to be the advocate for young moms, especially single young moms out there who's had to overcome the same things that I've had to overcome. And that's what I'm doing with this interview campaign. I'm showing other people that it's not just me who have overcame things, and giving people an outlet to have a voice and to tell their story ultimately with this interview campaign.
So could you imagine yourself and your life any different if you didn't have Liliana?
No. I sit back and I think about... Okay. I sit back and I think about the goals that I had, right? I wanted to travel, I wanted to do a lot. But then when the weeks that I have her and I just look at her, and she's literally my best friend. She's a mini me, same attitude, she likes to dance just like me, everything. And I can't even imagine waking up every day without her being by my side. And she really gave my life a purpose. I feel like I was just living life, but now I'm doing everything with her, for her, with her on my hip. So it's really amazing, and I can't imagine my life without her.
So what would it mean for you to win this pageant?
It would mean second chances. It would show my worthiness, you know, like what I said earlier about having to see everyone continue their life and do things that I couldn't. that also meant all my pageant friends continuing and winning stuff and me just sitting on Instagram wishing and hoping that that was me. So I feel like this is definitely going to give me the second chance, give other women hope, and show that I'm worthy just as much as anyone else. This is Liliana. Say hi.
Hi.
How old are you?
2.
2? Talk, baby, without that in your mouth. You're going to get the fur in your mouth. Ready? How old are you?
2.
2? Are you my best friend?
Mm-hmm.
Say besties.
Baby.
What do you like to do for fun?
Toys.
You like to play with your toys?
Yeah.
And what do you do in the pool?
Friends there. One. Toys. Pool.
You bring your toys in the pool?
Yeah.
What else do you do in the pool? And you jump in the pool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how to swim?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? And what's your favorite animal?
Doggy.
Doggies? What sound does doggies make?
Woof.
Woof. What sound does horsies make?
Oh, 1 doggy, 2 doggy.
2 doggies.
4, 9, 6 doggy. 7, 8 doggy. 1.
Yeah? That's a lot of doggies.
There are a lot of doggies.
Yeah.
There are 1, 2 doggies.
2 doggies. Good job. Just like Liliana. She's 2.
2 doggies like that.
There you have it. That was Liliana. As you can tell.
Oh, yeah, Mama.
I know you're Liliana. And there you have it. That's my daughter, Liliana. As you can see, I have my hands pretty full. So stay tuned to hear all the other amazing women that I'm going to have on this hashtag Your Life Is Not Over interview campaign. Listen to their stories, their challenges, and how they overcame that. So stay tuned to hear their stories.